Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we have my platinum review of Trails in the Sky first chapter remake. So I want to get a couple things out of the way. As much as I would like to do a roadmap to platinum, I'll do a mini one in here, but for the most part, once again, this is a remake. There isn't really too much deviation from the original game that any of the older guides don't simply just work because once again it is a remake. So I will go over two trophies that I think you should actually be looking over. Past that, everything else kind of has already been mapped out by people doing this game years ago. So let's get on to the review after I platinum this game. So I just want a preference. I love Trails games. So this one holds a very special place that I've never played Sky before. So getting to play this for the first time was amazing for the remake itself. Obviously, I probably should play the original as well too, but that is here nor there for this review process. We're looking at the remake itself. Ultimately, if you guys want to score, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Ultimately, I would have given this game a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for the myriad issues with bugs, visual glitches, DLC confusion, and the day one launch. If you guys didn't know, day one launch was buggy as hell. They were literally not even giving out certain rewards for buying the deluxe edition. Once again, mega shit show from Gung Ho. I don't know how you prep all this to be instantly ready and to fail on day one. So that there is another issue. I don't dislike the season pass. What I do dislike, and I think is absolutely horseshit, is that the DLC season pass is given out in waves. I do not understand why people want to do waves of DLC that are just outfits. It doesn't help the people that want to play day one. I don't understand. I don't mind you charging for DLC outfits. I remind if you freaking literally delay it just so for no reason. There is zero reason why they did this, and a lot of the day one, once again, the launch special stuff that you get, once again, does not come at launch. It comes 3 weeks later. I don't understand this. I'm like, don't call it launch if it doesn't launch with the game. I just like, and with I had so many visual bugs and glitches with the game. It is horrendous. Like I don't know how people weren't getting some of these, but I was getting like burn in a lot of the time, and I'm running on a PS5 Pro right now. And I once again, people go, "Oh, it's better on the Switch." It's not. The game significantly runs way worse on the Switch 2 than it runs on a PS5 Pro. So once again, I give them the benefit of the doubt. Ultimately, I would have given this a 9 out of 10, near perfect, if it wasn't for these issues. And those issues do bring it down to an 8. But with all the negatives out of the way, what are the positives? It's Trails. It's really, really good. This is easily one of the best remakes I've played for any franchise to this date. I'm looking at like remakes, remasters. I'm looking at what I played earlier this year, Tales of Graces. Yeah, it was great, but it could have been like this. Remaking this it must have been an intense process for Neon Falcom, and they poured love and soul into this game. I know some people don't like the daybreakification of Trails, but I think here it works really, really good. The models are really clean. Everything just flows so well in the game without like loading screens and all that. It is really, really good. I cannot underestimate how good this game would have been if it wasn't for those issues I stated earlier. Like it is phenomenal. Absolute gem. Do I think people deservedly give it a 90 out of 100 or 9 out of 10? Yeah, I can see that. I could really see that. I really do. And I think it does deserve those accolades. But those issues do bring it down for me personally. Once again, for me, this is my score. Ultimately, guys, I will not be giving this Game of the Year. Once again, my rules for Game of the Year are no remakes or remasters. So immediately it is disqualified for my Game of the Year. Because once again, if it's a remake, remaster, you know what you're going to get from the original. Even if you change up everything, you're doing a tried and true process of a game that's ready, essentially good, or you know it's worthwhile. All right, guys. So we're gonna go real quick into the two trophies that I think you guys need to actively look forward to in this game. So the first one here is going to be Expert Bracer, complete all reward objectives. So just like in Daybreak, there's a reward system or set of challenges systems in the game that you need to do for rewards. This one, unlike Daybreak, you have to complete every single one of them. There's only one that I'm going to point out because that this will be your limiting factor in the game. There's a objective called preempt break battles where you essentially break your opponent, then you get an advantage in battle when you enter it into the regular set mode. That one will be your limit point. That will be what you grind for the entire time. That is the most grindy one out of all of them, and everything else is really much more simple. You don't even really even need to get like the battle rating one really high. It's actually way simpler in this game. So once again, if you want to complete all challenges, that one will be your limit. You will probably most likely have to grind for that because I did. And the final one that I want to talk about, and this is going to be, I didn't really want to put this into the review because this one is as easy or as hard as you make it. Defeat level 100 Reverie second form. So, in order to do this, you need 2 playthroughs of the game. You cannot do 1 playthrough of the game. So, when you get to New Game Plus, there's an option to increase all enemies by 50 levels. Essentially, New Game Plus 50. New Game Plus 50 plus. I did this with Nightmare, and this was the best challenge ever in any Trails games of all time. New Game Plus 50 plus Nightmare was the hardest challenge this franchise has ever given me since Horizon's pre-patch Kai final boss. This was the if you want to do this easily and you don't want to if you want to do it with Nightmare on second playthrough, Nightmare plus this, it is easier if you want to do this in 3 playthroughs and just do this one on normal because Nightmare 50 plus is an absolute cheese fest. You have to understand how to cheese every single point in the game in order to be able to beat some of those boss fights in this game. The reason why, a lot of the bosses in this game have this thing called revenge hits, and revenge hits go through evasion. It doesn't care what your evasion status is. It's a guaranteed attack for your bosses. When your health in this game is roughly around 12,000, those revenge hits do half your health, or if they get a crit, it does 3/4 of your health. So you're forced to heal in another turn and waste a turn. Also, bosses in this game don't have S-crafts, but they do have overlimit. And what the overlimit does sucks. Because what happens when they get 2 turns of overlimit, but they can also go through your evasion. So you can't incite evasion tank dodge in this game. The only way you can really survive against those bosses once they hit overlimit, because once again, they get 2 turns of overlimit and they're guaranteed to kill you, to essentially almost kill you, or insta cast arts and kill you. The only way you survive in those overlimits is if 1, you get a partner defend, or 2, your partner gets a revive on you so you live, or 3, you prep a break prior to that, then wait till they get into overlimit, then break them. I know a lot of people have been saying like you can use evasion tanking. Once again, evasion tanking only works until they get into overlimit. Or 2, you can run the high damage, the essentially the lone blade, essentially low HP, high damage builds. Once again, that doesn't work against bosses that can have revenge hits because once again, those go through evasion. So the only way you're surviving that at low HP is if you get a revive, which is not once again guaranteed. So a lot of the bosses in this game are essentially like that. So you essentially have to grind through that. There's one that's particularly difficult because if you do not get the HP damage requirements, you're in for a real rough time, and that's the bracer fight in the final chapter where you have to fight Kurt and his team. Annalise, some people might say you're gonna have to counter Annalise there because she gives her team insight. So if you're using evasion tanking strats, you have to remove that buff. But the big issue is Kurt. Kurt can heal all 4 team members on that fight. So you have to deal more damage than Kurt is healing at that point. And once again, all those bosses in there have revenge hit. They have over limit, and they have a fuck ton of HP at New Game Plus 50. So once again, if you want to make this easy, it's best to do Nightmare on New Game Plus, then the 50 plus on like normal or easy. If you want to make this easy, if you want to make this one of the best challenges in Trails history, 100% 50 plus New Game Plus Nightmare. That is absolutely one of the biggest blasts I've had in a while. The reason I don't say like the final boss is that bad is because once you get Shara in the game, you essentially have an infinite in this game. There is an infinite strat where you get infinite amount of turns in this game. I'm gonna reveal it to you guys right now. Shara has her craft. You give her 2 CP regenerating items, which is the gladiator stuff, so you get 60 per turn. When she acts, you activate her craft. She instantly gives 2 of your teammates 0 delay or 3 teammates 0 delay, depending on where you're in the story, and they essentially get to move again. So you have essentially 1 or 2 characters dealing damage. Then you have your third character with max EP, max EP cut, and Shara should have max EP and max EP cut. And the third character will essentially cast Clock EX Plus up onto Shara. Then Shara gets her turn immediately. Then she casts, once again, her craft that gives everybody their instant turn. And you basically have an infinite turn order. You don't have to worry about anything. The only thing you have to worry about is revenge hits. But at that point, it shouldn't really matter in the game. The game is free at that. Once you get Shara, the game is free. So once again, guys, that is my things you should look out for your trophies and my platinum review. Until the next one, peace out.